I'm gonna go way, way back. Back in the day. I'm gonna go back to middle school. We was in middle school, man, and there was this cat, Antonio. Antonio passed puberty a little too quick. This dude looked like a 20-year-old man in the 6th grade classroom. Dude had full beard, you know. He was a Filipino black. He wore a blue bandana out of the back of his pocket and never gave a fuck. Teachers would be like, put your bandana up. Nah, fuck that. Teacher ain't really trying to press the issue. This dude might knock him the fuck out. A grown ass man. So he's like, okay, son, just be more respectful, please. Antonio be like, yeah, fuck you, bitch. I'm like, yeah, okay. And that's how it was, man. I was going to school in North Seattle, so all the teachers is white, mostly. These shook white people thinking they're gonna make a difference somewhere, knowing damn well they ain't getting no respect, ain't getting shit. So, I come in the bathroom one time, Antonio's in there smoking weed. I don't really smoke weed like that. I'm in 7th grade. I don't, I probably smoked weed one time my whole 7th grade experience. Antonio, he got a little foil pipe. He got a little chimmer. He in there hitting it. I'm like, let me hit that, cuz. Let me hit that, cuz. You know how I was, man. I'm trying to do some weed. I ain't never seen no weed. Let me see that. He let me hit that. I hit the little weed. High as hell. Coming back to the classroom. I had a broken foot at the time. So I'm on my little crutches. I'm crutching back to the classroom. I get in there. Teacher takes one look at me. Go to the office. I'm like, what the fuck did I do? You smell like marijuana and you look stoned. I'm like, oh hell, bitch, why? Why you gotta do me like that? I ain't smoked nothing. So I get down to the office. I got a cool little principal named Mr. Asina. If you watch some of my other videos, you know about Mr. Asina. He with the shit. He from the hood. He's like, what's good, man? Like, they sent you down here for smoking that wacky tobacco, huh? I was like, Mr. Asina, I didn't smoke nothing, brother. Oh, I'm over here spitting on myself. I was like, I didn't smoke nothing, Mr. Asina. She tripping. You could go and smell that bathroom. That bathroom stank like smoke, man. That wasn't me. I was in the bathroom, probably caught up on me. Mr. Asina like, okay, bet you wasn't the one smoking in the bathroom. I was like, nah. He's like, who was it? I was like, I don't know, shit. You know me, if I did know, I can't tell you. He's like, yeah, I respect that. I respect that, youngster. I respect that. I'm like, yeah, for sure. He's like, okay. He's like, me, you, and this teacher, we're gonna have a meeting during lunch. I'm like, okay, for sure though. Meeting. Sound better than getting suspended. Because I was getting suspended every other day, y'all, like, for real. Even Mr. Asina was impressed with how many times I was getting suspended. He'd be like, damn, boy, you just came back. You just came back. No, get you suspended again? He used to clown. So, me, Mr. Asina, and the teacher, we got a meeting. Bro, this backwood is so dry. It's like a 80-year-old woman's vagina. 80, man, like 97. My bad to all you 80-year-old women out there. I'm not trying to talk shit about your vaginas. I know some of them still be moist. I'm sorry. I am. I don't know, okay? I'm not that sexually experienced. So, we got this meeting. Teacher comes in, Mr. Asina's there. I'm sitting next to Mr. Asina like he's my buddy now. Like, yeah, bitch, Mr. Asina didn't suspend me. He wants to meet with you, bitch. What's up? She comes in, this and that. Yeah, Mr. Asina, he came in his little crutches. He came in smelling like pot. Yeah. And Mr. Asina's like, hold up. What you mean he came in on his little crutches? What is that even supposed to mean? She's like, well, he's constantly disrupting my class. Yeah, 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 yeah. Mr. Acina's like, hold on, Mrs. Geller. Hold on. I've seen you sending Dimitri down to the office quite a few times now. It seems like at least 2 or 3 times a week. She's like, yeah, he's very disruptive. He's like, okay. But you seem to be the only teacher who's having this many problems with him. None of the other teachers send him down to the office a couple times a week. I mean, they might send him down once or twice a month, but it ain't as much as you doing it. And what he just told me what just happened, and I don't smell any marijuana. I don't think he looks high. The young man is on his crutches. He's going through a tough time as it is. I would appreciate it if you showed him some respect. Now, this is what he's saying to a teacher in front of me. I ain't never seen some shit like this. I'm like, ooh, Mr. Acina, you my guy. He's like, now look, Mrs. Geller, I would appreciate it if you wouldn't waste my time with such silly accusations. And next time that Dimitri does come down to the office, I expect there to be a valid matter. And I'm like, ooh, yeah, Mr. Acina, I got my pom-poms out. I'm like, yeah, Miss Geller, valid. Validated. Mr. Acina like, shut up, Dimitri. Dimitri, go outside. Because I'm pumped up. I'm like, yeah, you know how many times she done lied on me, Mr. Acina? She done lied on me so many times. Mr. Acina like, bro, go. So I go out into the hall. I'm listening by the door. I hear him talking to her. And she's like, what are you doing? And he's like, no, Miss Geller, if you're not able to do your job in a professional manner, then we will find somebody who can. He's like, I know what you're doing. She's like, what am I doing? He's like, I know what you're doing. You need to either treat that boy like you treat everybody else, or we'll find somebody who can. And she's huffing and puffing, and he's like, we know what happened with you and that other Russian student. And I'm like, what? What other Russian student? I'm listening by the door like, huh? She's like, yeah, I know, but you know that won't happen again. He's like, no, it won't, and I don't expect it to, but we're not going to take any chances, are we? And she's like, no. She leaves. Mr. Acina calls me back in. I'm like, yo, what the hell? What other Russian student? I heard all that. He's like, man, you did you? I'm like, yeah, man, I heard all that shit. He's like, well, what happened is, about 3 or 4 years ago, we had another Russian student. Didn't tell me his name. Didn't tell me, just said he was a Russian student. Said we had a Russian student. And Miss Geller and that student had some issues. They had some problemos. And that student chokeslammed Mrs. Geller. Over her desk. Broke her collarbone. And she was out for 2 months in bed, in recovery. And Mr. Acina noticed that she was giving me some preferential treatment because of my race. And it's real funny because I remember when I first started that class, it seemed like she was intentionally mispronouncing my name. like just intentionally. And I was like, what the hell? Does she not know how to read? Why is she pronouncing it like that? Come to find out. And I told Mr. Cena about it. And he's like, look, this lady gives you any other problems at all, you just let me know. And we're gonna let her go. He's like, I feel bad about what happened. And he's like, one of your brothers, man, they fucked her up. And I'm laughing. I'm like, man, they sure did. And he's like, but that ain't acceptable. She can't treat you like that. And I was like, damn straight she can't. I've been getting my ass whooped at home. This bitch getting me suspended every other day. So he's like, look, just be cool. Don't give her no reason. Meanwhile, in my head, I'm thinking, be cool. Now that I know that she ain't really got no pull, and she gonna get in trouble, I'ma act the ass. And that's what I did, man. I never did nothing in Miss Geller's class. As soon as I walked in there, I could tell she was mad as fuck to see me. I'd come up in there, hella disruptive, hella disrespectful. I'm in there playing with girls as pussies during class. I'm doing the most. I used to come in there drunk after that. I would stand outside the little corner store by my house, ask one of the older cool dudes to buy me a 40. I would pull up in the 40 at the bus stop, save it for the next day, and I was coming to school sauced.